All right, Shalom. Giving
Shalom.
all praise, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rahakadash. Double, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Shalom to the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. I'm the brother Caleb. I'm joined by the brothers Amna Allah and Ra'azar Rakah Halawiya. And we're going to do a little lesson here, going into a few articles, basically around the topic of Esau's going to have to prepare to meet the ultimate man of war. Could one of you brothers read Exodus 15 and verse 3, Baba Kusha?
I got you. Right. This is Exodus 15 and 3, and it reads, "The Lord is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name."
That's right. The Lord Yahweh is a man of war, and he's preparing to take down this kingdom, which is the kingdom of the Edomites, and we're coming into the times when the Most High is going to destroy Esau's kingdom. Now, no matter what Esau tries to do, he's going to try and fight to keep his kingdom. He's going to fight tooth and nail to retain it, but there's nothing he can do because it's prophesied that his kingdom will fall. Now, we've got a couple of articles we're going to get into showing that Esau's end, his demise is nigh, because prophecy says as much, and we're seeing the signs in the world. So the first article we're going to get is from, I think it's Sky News.
Right. I just got one precept just on the point you made, if I may.
Go ahead.
All right. This is the book of Job 14 and 5. It says, "Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass."
That's right. The Most High has appointed his bounds that he can't pass. See, Esau's inward thought is that he's going to keep his kingdom from generation to generation, but it's not going to work that way. What did the scriptures say? The deceived and the deceiver are his.
Yeah.
Esau's been deceived into thinking that he can somehow, some way, defeat the Lord Yahweh Shai when he comes to return. Now, we know the way Yahweh Shai is coming back to return to the earth. He's going to be coming with the host of heaven, which is the angels in chariots. And we're going to get into that in a moment. But Esau has fooled the public into thinking that, there's no such thing as, there's no God, there's no angels, there's nothing except him and his power structure. But the truth is breaking down his lies. And he knows he's going to have to fight Yahweh Shai and the angels eventually. And it's going to be, was it Second Ezra's 13th chapter talks about when the armies of the earth try and face off against Yahweh Shai, and what their end will be. They're going to be beaten to complete powder and dust by the blast of the chariots. Now, before we get there, we've got a lot more prophecies to be fulfilled before we get to that point. But we're starting to see the sound of the war drums being beaten. So if we get the article from Sky News, and we'll get into it. Forgive me for the noise in the background.
Yeah, it's all
That's
good.
me, Ryan.
That's all good, man. So this is from Sky News. It says NATO must shift to wartime mindset, Secretary General warns. And just an interesting observation that was made about the article is that this article was actually published on the 12th of the 12th. All right, so I'll read the title once more. NATO must shift to wartime mindset, Secretary General warns. Now, pertaining to the 12 and 12, if you read Revelation 12 and 12, it says, "Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." So, we just found that spiritual, man. That this was published on the 12/12, talking about shifting to this wartime mindset, meaning that Esau knows that he's running out of time, and he knows that it's a race against time. So, Laki, was someone going to say something?
No, that's a very good point that you made, and it the precept of Revelation 12 and 12 is perfect because Esau's racing against the clock. His time is short, but as we read before, the Most High has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So World War Three is on the cards, and no matter which way you try and slice the situation, it's all going to end up with Esau in World War Three, or
That's
all
right.
these nations even in World War Three for what they've done to the children of Israel, which is us. You know,
Uh,
um, and let me just read a quick precept, if I may. This is Joel 3. Let me get it here.
ooh, I think I got that lined up here too.
That's the spirit.
Beautiful, man.
Bear me a second. Joel 3. Yeah, Joel 3, starting from verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, which is the nation of Israel, which is us, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So, this is, if you read this article, it ties into this prophecy, which we spoke of in Joel 3. So let's get into it, Baba Kushar. Do any of you want to read it? Or shall I
Can't.
read it?
I mean, I could read it and then you can, make the points as I go along and stuff.
Yeah, can't that will work? Go ahead.
So it says Russia is preparing for long-term confrontation with Ukraine and with us. Someone hold Isaiah 13, Baba Kushar. Mark Rutte said, adding, we are not ready for what is coming our way in 4 to 5 years. The head of NATO has warned the alliance is not ready for the threats it will face from Russia in the coming years, and that it's time to shift to a wartime mindset. Mark Rutte, the Secretary General of the organization, said NATO members had spent more than 3% of GDP on defense during the Cold War, and argued future spending would have to be much higher than the alliance's current target of 2%. Russia is preparing for long-term confrontation with Ukraine and with us, Mr. Rutte said during a speech in Brussels. We are not ready for what's coming our way in 4 to 5 years. He added, it is time to shift to a wartime mindset and sabotage our defense and turbocharge, Salakia, our defense production and defense spending.
Right.
Mr.
So
Rutte,
let
Salakia.
me just let me just speak on that. 4 to 5 years. So what we're in now, we're in 2024. We're pretty much in 2025 in a couple of weeks. So 4 to 5 years, that's by 2030. And Esau is looking. What do they have? What is it? The World Economic Forum?
Yeah,
Didn't they
it's,
have Agenda
Agenda
2030?
2030. Yeah.
Yeah, where they're trying to put in place all their New World Order agenda, and on top of that, they're saying they have to switch to a wartime mindset. So that means that this is the beginnings of something big, because that's a very heavy statement. Switching to a wartime mindset. That's like them admitting that the time of mirth and folly is coming to an end, and they have to be prepared to deal with what's coming. And he even said it himself: "We are not ready to face what's coming within 4 to 5 years." So Russia's not looking to back down. Russia's only uh gonna keep advancing in this thing, which is
Yep.
biblical prophecy. So
That's right.
NATO is having to rise up to meet that threat, because it's all prophecy. And what did the scriptures say? The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Mm-hmm.
Could someone get that for me, Baba Kishar?
Yeah. Go on. That's Proverbs 21 and 1, Ratazar.
Yeah.
I'll put it up on the screen as well.
See, this is all the Most High show.
Mm-hmm.
What did we say before? He's appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Yep.
So Esau's got a set amount of time, and also the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. So he's doing whatever the Heavenly Father wills. Esau thinks he's running his own game and his own agenda, but he's been deceived. As I said before, the deceived and deceiver are his.
Right.
Ratazar, do you have that precept, Baba Kishar?
Yeah. Proverbs 21 and 1 says here, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Yep. And as we read in the opening, the Lord is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. So he's the ultimate tactician. He's the ultimate chess player. He's the ultimate mastermind, and he's assembling all of these pieces on the board to play out exactly as he said in the prophecies. So let's continue with the article, Baba Kishar.
Come on. It says, Mr. Root said the current security situation was the worst in my lifetime.
And it's only going to go downhill from here.
Yep, that's it, man. You know, every kingdom has a beginning and an end. And, you know, the American kingdom or you know, Rome revived is no different, man. You know, it's been noted that in history, kingdoms have a span of about 250 years before they're brought to desolation. Well, Babylon the Great, when was it that Donald Trump was going to celebrate that quintessential, was it called quintessential? Yeah, I believe it was.
Quintessential.
You know,
Something like that.
yeah, quintessential.
Centennial. Salaki.
Quincentennial.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. You know, he's going to be celebrating that in the near future, you know, but he doesn't know that his kingdom is reaching its expiry date, man.
Yeah.
And our kingdom's getting ready to be ushered in. That's 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
All
Right.
Khan, let's get that, Baba Kishar. Second Ezra is it 6 and 9?
Khan, we'll get that.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, brothers, it's 11:44, man.
Man, time's going fast.
Yeah.
144.
Yeah, man, that's right, man.
Yeah.
Where did you want me to start from in 2nd Ezra 6?
What shall be the parting asunder of the time? Verse 7, Baba Kishar.
Yes, sir. Right. 2nd Ezra 6 and 7 says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, which goes to show you as well, by the way, that this question Esdras is asking is a question that was sought by all of the prophets, really, man. Even to this very day, we still, even though we know that salvation is near and the Lord is pretty much getting ready to close the curtains on his kingdom, we still want to know exactly when it's going to happen, man. You know, what does the scripture say? Hasten the day of, of the Lord, man. You know, so we're eagerly anticipating for the destruction of this place, man. So that's why the things that the heathen deem detrimental, we deem beneficial. Okay.
That's right. That's
Verse 8, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
right. So that means that Esau would be in rulership at the time of the end. Mm-hmm. And who do we have in rulership right now?
Esau.
The Edomites. You know, Babylon the Great, America, which is Rome revived. They're in rulership, and they're coming to the end of their rulership. So Esau is going to be the end of the first, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we're going to be the nation that's going to be placed in rulership next. So we've got a lot to look forward to. Let's jump back to the article, Baba Kishar.
It said NATO leaders agreed to end the defense cuts that began when the Cold War ended after Russia annexed Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula a decade ago, moving towards spending 2% of GDP on their military budget. But since Russia invaded Ukraine almost 3 years ago, they have agreed to 2% target should be the minimum for defense spending. When the alliance meets the target collectively, around a third of members do not hit it individually. At least 23 of its 32 members will meet the 2% target this year, the alliance estimates. US President-elect Donald Trump, who assumes office on the 20th of January, has threatened that the US will not defend delinquent countries that do not spend enough on their defenses.
Yep. So Donald Trump's putting pressure on all these NATO countries to step up their defense spending, and they're going to have to do it. You know, it's getting to crunch time now. Go ahead,
Yeah,
carry on, Babakasha.
But also, if I may add, is also the way he's speaking with, in that pompous spirit, man. Like the
yeah,
proud devil he is. And
yeah,
it's funny because he's the one that's trying to push for all these nations to boost their spending on their defense systems and just general military equipment. However, according to prophecy, it turns out that the land of America, Babylon the Great, is going to be the one that's going to be in most need of that, man. And no matter how much spending Babylon the Great does, there's nothing they can do to prevent the complete and utter annihilation of their kingdom, man. So this is
Exactly.
Proverbs 18 and 12. It says, before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. All right. So the heart of man is haughty before he's destroyed, right? Let's see what it says here in the blue letter for the word haughty.
Strong's H 1361. Gavach. Gavach.
All right. It says to be high, be exalted, to be lofty, which that is going into, another way of saying, you're proud, man, you know,
yeah,
majestic, elegant. All right. But yeah, so high minded, towering, soaring, sky high is when, when you basically you're thinking highly of yourself. Okay. To be exalted, to make high. Okay. So that's the kind of spirit that Donald Trump is coming with. But it says before destruction, that's the heart of man. So what does that mean? That means that on top of everything else that's going on, everything is pointing to the complete destruction of this kingdom, man. And before honor is humility. And that fits in with us, man. Because we're the
Yeah.
ones that's being humiliated right now, man. Aren't we known as what? The bum camp, the bummerlights,
yeah,
you name it, man. The grapists, okay, and like the list goes on. But it says what before honor is humility, man. So everything is being done decently and in order, man. So like it, man. Let me
Yeah, we've been that's
yeah,
all right. We've been humbled, but I've got a precept here because this
mm,
goes back into prophecy. This is
yep.
Genesis 27 and verse 40. This is Isaac speaking to Esau, and he says, "And by thy sword thou shalt live, and shall serve thy brother. And when it shall come to pass, thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck." Now, by the sword is how Esau lives. So his
Mm,
answer to everything is the sword. Even going back to Cain and Abel, what was his answer to his jealousy over Abel's sacrifice? To grab the sword. So that's Esau, always
kill
Esau's
it,
tactic.
yeah,
He always tries to, trust in his weaponry. That's
yeah.
why that's why Donald Trump prides himself on the America's military defense. But that's all going to be put to shame when Yahushua cracks the cloud with the chariots. But let's go back to the article, Baba Kishar. We'll get through that quickly.
I got, I got a quick preset, by the way.
Come on.
Go ahead, bring it out.
Come on. This is over there 1 and verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. The reason why I brought out that precept was pertaining to the article where Donald Trump was basically commanding the other nations, the other NATO nations, to make more contributions, man. For re under subjection of what Trump was saying. With Salaki, in the article, did it say that it was to help, Ukraine? Just to recap my point, Salaki.
It didn't specify. Oh yeah, actually, NATO leaders to agree to end the defense cuts that began when the Cold War ended after Russia's annexed Ukraine, uh, Crimean, I believe, Peninsula
Peninsula.
a decade ago. Yeah, Peninsula
Oh,
of the
okay,
water
okay.
a decade ago, moving towards
Mm-hmm.
spending 2% of GDP on their military budgets.
Yeah.
Oh, but since Russia invaded Ukraine almost 3 years ago, they've agreed the 2% should be a minimum for defense spending. So basically,
Well,
they need
that's
to
what
up their game
mm-mm,
for
the
what's
other
coming.
NATO countries in terms of America.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I brought out that priest is because even though America's demanding that, and it says that all the men of that confederacy, all the councils that they do with these other NATO nations, eventually those other nations are going to go against Babylon,
Eventually,
especially
yes.
as the scripture says.
Eventually, because it says the
Yeah.
beast shall hate the whore, and the beast is
Mm-hmm,
NATO.
Yeah, I got that precept
yeah.
lined up, so we can get into that a bit later. But that's there, man. Carl, let's read on.
God.
Um, where was I? Yeah, okay. While the alliance meets the target collectively, around a third of members do not hit it individually. At least 23 of its 32 members will meet the 2% target this year. That, excuse me, the alliance estimates. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, who assumes office on 20th of January, has threatened that U.S. will not defend delinquent countries that do not spend enough on their defenses. The alliance is founded on the principle that an attack on one member is considered an attack on them all, and Mr. Trump's
Mm-hmm,
comments raised fears over whether the US would act to help in a crisis. So,
Hmm.
when you go to the book of Daniel 2, what is it? When it's talking about the tolls, it says what the iron mixed with
Mixed
miry,
with miry clay.
that's going into the division of the countries in the NATO and the EU. And then, of course, when you go to Revelation 16, the beast shall hate the whore.
17,
Ultimately,
I think. Revelation
17,
17, yeah.
right? Eventually these other nations are gonna, turn their nuclear missiles and point them towards Babylon the Great and do away with that place, man. All
Yep.
right.
So
So this
we
is
can
all.
rejoice. We can
Oh,
rejoice when we see this news because we
mm-hmm,
see prophecy in action. Let's keep
mm-hmm.
going.
mm-hmm.
Just a quick one before we continue. Right, this is Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Lord power, and then any of you brothers can break it down. Amos
Can't.
3 and 7. Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets.
Can't. So us being the prophets, we know these secrets. We're considered, just bums, guys who don't know nothing, standing on the street holding Bibles every week. But the Most High has opened up His secrets to us, giving us the spirit of wisdom to be able to perceive and understand what's going on in the world. Because before we came into this truth, we were in the world and we weren't thinking like this. We
No.
weren't watching for prophecies to come to pass, But we've been
Yep.
taught, and we understand now, the spirit of wisdom dealing with us, what's going on in the world, so we can see these things aforetime. So, where they're saying that the world must what was the title of the article again? Turn to a wartime mindset.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to bug a lot of people out because a lot of people don't, especially over here in the UK, they're not ready for war. They're not
No
really
way.
ready for that. I mean, it's in the back of their mind because obviously we've prophesied about these things a long time, but a lot of people in the back of their minds are thinking, nah, that can never happen.
Not in
Not
my
in my
lifetime.
What's that?
Not in my lifetime.
Not in our lifetime, yeah. But you know what? COVID smacked the shit out of these people big time. And now they're realizing, yeah, society can be locked down. Things can change overnight. All it takes is the right set of circumstances or the right crisis, and shit's gonna hit the fan. And this thing's been brewing up for the longest time. Now the Most High's speeding up the time to fulfill these prophecies. So
Fair.
let's finish this off because we've got a couple more articles to get into. So let's uh, move through this one.
Yeah, this one's almost done anyway. Mr. Root, a former Dutch Prime Minister, called on NATO members to stop creating barriers between each other and between industries, banks, and pension funds. In a message to the defense industry, he said, "There is money on the table and it will only increase, so dare to innovate and take risks." Mr. Root also warned of a coordinated campaign to destabilize our societies, which included cyber attacks and assassination attempts.
Hmm.
He also said NATO must be clear-eyed about China's ambitions and caution Beijing is building up its forces with no transparency, no limitations, and bullying Taiwan.
There you go. So shit's really starting to heat up. So it's looking like 2025 is going to start in a very nice position
Yeah.
with these nations gearing up for a more wartime mindset because China's building up its troops, Russia's building up its troops, and NATO's going to be set against them because the prophecies speak of that. Now, what? Hang on. Did I have a precept? Bear me a second. I thought I had something.
Yeah, I got a preset by the way as well, based on Moab.
Go ahead. Bring your precept out.
Because they think that they're strong and all. They're the new superpower. But even Moab themselves, they're also destined to be destroyed too. So it says in 14 and Jeremiah 48:14, how say ye, we are mighty and strong men for war? Moab is spoiled and gone up out of her cities, and his chosen young men are gone down to the slaughter, saith the king, whose name is the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts. The calamity of Moab is near to come, and his affliction hasteth fast. So of course, even Moab himself, because everyone's saying, China's the next superpower,
Mm.
they're the ones that have the production, delivered exports to the rest of the world. But just because they have that and they got their own army as well, because they desire to have Taiwan really because they want to take control of the semiconductor market, which most devices, electronic devices, need semiconductor chips as well. So that's why they say China's going to be the next one because Taiwan is literally in the midst of China, man. But despite that, Yahweh Shem Yahshua is still going to humble Moab because we always talk about Edom being the main enemy, but we've got Moab, we've got Ammon, we've got Ishmael, and all these other nations who also suffer as well as soon as the major judgment of Babylon is done. Because of
Yep.
course the heathens will serve us in Yahushua's kingdom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All these nations are going to get their comeuppance because they've all had a hand in our downfall. So this is going to be the
Yeah,
ultimate underdog story of us being the nation which nobody ever thought would ever come out of, slavery and subjection, ultimately rising to the top. And it's all for the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because in our current estate, we can't do anything. At the
Mm.
end of the day,
no,
all we can do is but prophesy. And it's
um,
by the foolishness of preaching. We're not taking up, swords and grenades and bombs or anything like that. We're taking up the sword of the spirit, which is the word of the Lord. And that's
Mm.
how we're
yeah,
overcoming our enemy with the power of the truth. But
mm,
ultimately it's going to be Yahweh Shai when he makes his return with the chariots. That's going to really bring an end to this thing. So you said you had some articles on chariot sightings. Should we get into those?
Yep. This was published again, 12/12. It says drone spotted
yeah, yeah.
vanish over New York City as mystery swirls over lights in the sky.
All right, hold on a second. You said this was published on the 12th of the 12th also?
Yep.
Well, all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai, because look how the Lord's moving,
Come,
like on so many different angles. He's moving, making the
hmm
stirring up the nations for war, and also he's showing his chariots. Look, the Most High is moving on a lot of angles, man. So we can, take great
yeah,
comfort in that because this is the Lord's movie, and he's playing it
Mhm.
out exactly how it's supposed to be played out. So go ahead.
Absolutely. It says multiple drones Do you know what? Hey, fair use, fair use, fair use. I'm gonna see, if I can play this video, see what he has to say.
Go on.
We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat or have a foreign nexus. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are investigating these sightings, and they're working closely with state and local law enforcement to provide resources using numerous detection methods to better understand their origin. Using very sophisticated electronic detection technologies provided by federal authorities, we have not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings. To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully. The United States Coast Guard is providing support to the state of.
See, let me just say real quick, Salakia, you see, Esau is trying to take control of the narrative, man. He said that these aircrafts are manned vehicles, meaning what, they're being flown by man. Well, you see, on top of that, when these people see the so-called UFOs, they're not expecting so-called black men with big afros and big beards to be the ones that's inside those vehicles, man. But the sight of that is gonna be a lot more scary to them than it being an alien, a green alien or Roger from American Dad in those shows, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a lot scarier, man. Because already when these Edomite they see Jake, tall big ass Jake, looking a certain way, they might cross the street, go the other way, redirect their path. What more an angel, man? What more Yahweh Shai?
New Jersey and has confirmed that there is no evidence of any foreign-based involvement from coastal vessels. And importantly, there are no reported or confirmed drone sightings in any restricted airspace.
Yeah, like you said, he's just trying to control the narrative, which is what Esau's been doing for the longest time. See, a lot of people don't even know that UFOs are mentioned in the Bible. Like a lot of Christians have no idea. I mean, when I was a young child and I used to go to church, being a Christian, I thought the Bible was just about guys walking through the desert, finding wells with sandals, riding camels. You never imagine that technology more advanced than whatever you'd see in Star Wars is in the Bible. So it's gonna shatter people's minds, and that's why men's hearts are gonna fail them for fear when they realize what's really going on, and when they realize that their government isn't in control of it. Imagine that. All this big talk about they've got this great defense budget, and they've got all their military and stuff, but when Yahweh Shai comes, it's gonna eclipse any technology that Esau's got. He can't fight these chariots, man.
I got a quick. This is Obadiah 1:3. It says, "The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock." All right, because let's not forget, man. Let's not forget Esau's history. Let's not forget what Esau goes back to. Okay,
Fred Flintstone.
Man, and you know what? You see, that's the thing, man. Esau Edom be telling you these things, right? But because you knock it off as a mere cartoon, you think that is meaningless, man. Esau is telling you what it is. All right, it says, "Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks," man. This is what Esau Edom. Okay, every ass motherfucker wearing leaves as Calvin Klein's. And leaves as a Stone Island hat. Okay, look at this devil, man. Look at this guy. And look, man, don't think that this is just some mythological creature. This is Esau, man. All right, trust me, Esau will get hairy like that. Esau will get hairy like that for real, man. I had in my old job, my Edomite manager, right, was a young female. And if you saw the hairs on her forearms, man, Creating, not even me, man. I haven't got hair like that. Okay, this is Esau. All right. So when it's talking about the pride of thine heart, man. All right, Esau heart, meaning his mind, la'ab in the Hebrew, has been lifted up, man. Okay, to the point where he's saying in his heart, "Who will bring me down to the ground?" All right. Well, the scripture says it. Let me not jump the gun. Obadiah 1:3 again. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, "Who shall bring me down to the ground, man?" So as Caleb quoted earlier, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. Esau Edom don't think he's gonna fall, man. He
Yeah,
don't think
Esau's proud.
that's right.
It's like I didn't mean to cut you in your speech. Was you going to say something else?
Yeah, he don't think that Moab is gonna be next up, let alone Israel. He's like, man, you crazy, man. I'm the great Edomite.
Yeah,
The wild man. All right. Ain't no one taking my kingdom. Oh, you gonna see about that, man. All
it's
right. It
it's
says in
funny.
verse 4.
So I was going to
Go
say
ahead.
it's funny because I mentioned Fred Flintstone, and even in the cartoons, it's like Esau is trying to project where he wants to be because they made that cartoon the Flintstones, which is where he came from, but they also made the cartoon. Do you remember the Jetsons with George Jetson? It was set in the future, and they had the flying cars and all that kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
The Jetsons.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, so that's where Esau wants to be.
But guess what? This is Jake.
Yeah, that's our future.
This is
Not
us,
his.
man. You see this right here. You
That
see,
is Jake,
and you see that goes to show you that there is tapped in, man. This is the so-called UFO
That's a
right here. This is chariot, man. You see these devils, man. Hey, man, doesn't the scripture say how they accomplish a diligent search, man? Come on, man. Hey, you know what, man? We got to hold this precept real quick. Hold on. What is that? Hebrews 12 and 16. Okay. Just because of this Jetson thingy, right? It says, Hebrews 12 and 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright, man. All
Yeah.
Esau had to do was fast, man.
Yeah.
That's all the motherfucker had to do. He couldn't even do that. Okay. Here it is. We keep the Day of Atonement every year. And then, just for spiritual benefits, we may voluntarily fast various points of the year, man. All Esau had to do was fast, man. All right. Verse 17, for ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought
it carefully with tears.
Yes, man. All right. And this right here, what you're seeing is hopes and dreams, man. An ambitious, lost individual or people, right? Just earnestly hoping that somehow they can get
it back.
Right, man.
He's hoping he can get it back.
That's why, with this new world order thing, by way of AI and say that again. So, Rotazar, what you saying?
Something?
No, I was saying because Elon Musk, he actually intended. Yes, Salakia, the connection. But Elon Musk, he actually intended to go to Mars by 2024, but he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, and he ain't never going to do it.
He ain't going nowhere. Dreams to actually go into the planetary species. Yeah, he can't.
He ain't going to no Mars, man.
Power.
Because you
once
see
again.
Salakia, go on, Caleb.
I was gonna say once again, bring up the precept: the Most High has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. All those blessings are like to explore other planets, other worlds. That's the blessing that Jake's gonna get. That's not Esau's blessing. This here right now is Esau's blessing. This fucked up, corrupted, destroyed earth. This is his lot.
Can't.
Something's coming in my mind. What the apostles say about the movie, the Planet of the Apes. What's that quote?
The harbinger. He's the harbinger of death.
Harbinger of death. Yeah.
Yeah.
He will destroy his. Destroy his world. I can't remember the quote exactly, but yeah, he's the waster.
Yeah.
The waste man. Like all that he can bring about is death. And I wanted to say something on the point you made about all Esau had to do was fast. Going right back to Cain and Abel, all Esau had to do was trade with his brother. Like he was a tiller of the ground, he had the fruit, you know. Rather than offer the fruit for a sacrifice, why not go to his brother and say, "Hey, look, I'll give you, you know, this fruit for one of your sheep, so I can make the correct sacrifice." He didn't want to trade, he didn't want to share, and then when his sacrifice was rejected, he got cut in the spirit. And what was his answer? To take up the sword.
Yep.
And he lost it all from then. So when he came back as Esau, and he lost the birthright again, he was a two-time loser, man.
Oh man. And then you have it now. Okay, he's gonna think that he's gonna get a taste of that new world order, and then just right when he's about to fill his belly, you know, the Mosai is gonna free Hawashai is gonna come and, you know, rain on his parade, man. Okay. But just before we continue with the article, I just want to bring this quick precept out because Razar, you brought out that thing about Elon Musk talking about he plans to go to Mars, right? But first of all, let's make one thing clear: no one landed on the fucking moon, man, and that's another.
That was a lie.
That was a lie, and that's another thing. All right, art imitates life. There's a Family Guy episode where you have, I believe it was, what was his name? What, Neil Armstrong walking out of the studio of where this alleged moon landing happened, right? And then as he's walked out the studio, he's run into someone and he's wearing his astronaut outfit, right? And he's like, "Hey, look, that's Neil Armstrong." Then the guy's like, "Wait a minute, aren't you supposed to be on the moon?" And then he goes, boom, and then wipes him up, man. But going to art imitate life, that goes to show you Esau be telling on himself, man. But these people ain't tapped in through the spirit to discern and actually see the hidden subliminal messages behind what's being said, man. All right, so just real quick and then we move on. John 14, and let's start at the top. 1, it says, "Let not your heart be troubled. Ye that believe in the Most High Yahweh, believe also in me," Yahweh Shai speaking. "In my Father's house are many mansions." And what's the Father's house? This universe, man. Okay.
Yep.
The heavens.
Earth is his footstool.
And that's in Isaiah 66. Okay, you see, precept upon precept, line upon line. All right, so it says, "In my Father's house are many mansions." So what does that mean? That's talking about the other planets, man. Mars, for instance, that Elon Musk is going to try and attempt to go to, which of course he can't, because as it's been reiterated a few times in this lesson, all right, the Heavenly Father has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass, man. Okay,
I've got a precept to back you up when you're ready.
Let me
just read some more.
Yeah, I'm just closing out verse 2. It says, "If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you, man. Because, you know, in our kingdom, we as the Israelites are going to have access to these other planets, man. Okay, we're going to be able to inhabit them and make it according to our liking, man. Because, you know, the scriptures talk about how the nation of Israel is going to be as the sand of the sea. So even though the earth is going to expand in size, man, the scriptures say be fruitful and multiply. It's going to get to a time where, you know, the earth is going to be so populated. You're going to have to spread us out somehow, man. And that's where them other mansions, the planets, come into play. But anyways, Caleb, you said you had a precept.
Yeah, this is Obadiah 1 and 4. It says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh." So we know that Esau lied about that moon landing, and that was in 1969. And ever since then, his kingdom has been on a decline.
Right.
So he never went to the moon. He ain't going to no Mars. That's the blessing that we're going to get to inherit.
That's right, man. Right.
We have no evidence at this time.
Article, it says multiple drones were spotted in the Bronx before dawn Thursday, leading frightened Big Apple residents to flood 911 with calls, according to police sources. So you see, look, man, there is, first of all, there weren't no drones, and secondly, hey, look, there ain't gonna be no 911 in that day, man. 911 is gonna need 911. All right, 911 is gonna be ringing 999, and 999 is gonna be ringing 911, man. All right, because all hell's getting ready to break loose. Amos 5:18 talks about how there's gonna be trouble from every side, man. No matter which way you go, north, east, southwest, you're gonna meet trouble, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says the mysterious flying objects were seen buzzing above Jerome Avenue and Clark Place West in, I believe that's Mount Eden. Salaki, I'm not American, so I don't know. Mount Eden around 5:30 a.m. Sources said,
Yeah.
can't the water. Right, so this is one of the so-called drones spotted above New Jersey, man. This is not a drone, man.
Man, bring out a precept.
God,
Absolutely.
This is comes to mind Zechariah 5 and verse 1. You get it.
Mhm.
Here we are. Right, Zechariah 5 and verse 1 says, Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? I answered, I see a flying roll, and the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. So when they see those chariots, it's a curse to them, but a blessing to us. Because it says, For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. And I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. Who's the thief? Esau. The thief cometh not but to kill, to steal, and to destroy. So it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So what they're seeing, those military high ups, they know what it is, but they're trying to lie and say it's drones to pacify the people. Because if the people knew that there's a power that Esau doesn't have control of, he'd lose his credibility.
Yeah.
You know, because he's tried to magnify himself as if he's the greatest power on the earth. But if heavenly power was manifested and shown, people would realize that there is a higher power. There must be a God. And Esau would lose all his credibility. So, like you say, he has to do his best, working overtime to try and control the narrative, man. But his narrative is falling apart.
Yeah. Job 13:4 says, For ye are forgers of lies, and ye are physicians of no value, man. So, you know, what we have is a kingdom that was pretty much erected upon lies. But we're getting ready to see the deception of this kingdom by way of the truth. Okay.
I've got another one.
Can't.
Oh, you got a precept, Halawaya? Have you got a precept?
Go on.
Okay, bring it up.
This is. I'm gonna get the one in the chariots. So this is Nahum 1, verse 3. The Lord
Nahum.
Yahweh is slow. Nahum.
Can't.
So okay, Nahum 1 and 3. The Lord Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power. I will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord Yahweh hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. So that's talking about the mere fact that the number of chariots, the innumerable chariots, as it says, the chariots are 20,000, even thousand and thousand. That's Psalm 68 and verse 17. That's also referenced here where it says, and the clouds, which is just a metaphor for the chariots, are as the dust of his feet, which means there's a whole load of them, man. Things like
Exactly.
some of them you can see, some of them you can't see. And then there'll be more seen when Yahushua arrives.
Can't.
Oh, man. And you see, and this is the thing. Salaki, you got it, Caleb.
No, I was going to say, and that's just three little dots. If you go back to the picture, that's three little chariots. But Yahweh is coming with thousands.
Yeah.
Esau can't cope. He can't cope with what's coming, man.
Absolutely.
and that's going to be the most beautiful thing to see the pride, um, the pride in them be destroyed when they realize that that is the ultimate oh shit moment when they realize that they're meeting their maker.
Yeah, yeah,
Can't.
yeah.
I think this calls for the Amawan scripture.
Let's
Feel
go.
Which one's
Let's
that?
go.
right, man. Oh boy, this is Sirach 25:7. It says, "There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy." All right, so that's exactly what we're seeing, man. We're seeing this pompous devil, this prideful devil, uh, 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 watch his kingdom slip through his hands, man. All right, we're living to see the fall of our enemy, man, and it's a great honor and a great, privilege to see, man.
Can't.
These devils are scrambling, man. These devils are, I was watching a video earlier today, and he had this like one military Edomite talking to the news presenter, and the way he was speaking about, saying how they, from very many trusted sources, we can assure you that these drones are from Iran, and you could just tell that he was just lying through his teeth, man. All right, but these devils are scrambling, man. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to turn. The what do you call it? The spirits that they communicate with on the left hand side, the demons are deceiving them. They're telling them that do this and do that, and it's going to prevail. A bit like who is that king? What, Ahab in
Oh yeah,
what was it in what was it
First
First
Kings.
Kings?
Yeah,
Okay, he's being deceived, man, and he's consulting with these familiar spirits, and they're deceiving him and bringing the downfall of his kingdom, man. Okay, so that's what's happening.
I got another precept.
It's
Um,
as well.
this is Isaiah 66 and verse 15.
Heavy.
It says, "For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many."
That's right.
So these chariots, they're doing what they're doing now. They've got their missions. They're doing what they're doing now. But eventually, the time's going to come when the Most High is going to let them unleash all hell, and Babylon's going to be destroyed. And all the nations that are going to gather together to fight against the chariots. That's 2nd Ezra 13. They're going to be beaten to dust, man.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not going to be no joke, and it's not going to be. There's going to come a time when the chariots aren't going to be just small little dots in the sky. I remember I had a dream one time, and the chariots were like hovering over the city, and they were really low to the ground, but they weren't like in the films you always like Independence Day, the chariots are always like above the earth flat. They were all like tilted at different angles and shit, and it looked terrifying. And people were bugging up. I was like, whoa, the chariots are here. So Lord willing, I live to see that, because that's, something I really want to see, Yahushua coming back with the host of heaven. Some of us might have to die before then as martyrs, whatever our lot is, our lot will be, but Lord willing, I get to see that because, that's what we've been longing for the longest time, man. Ever since we came into this truth, realizing that Yahushua is coming back, that's what we want to see Yahushua's return, man. And there's another thing as well, another precept, just quickly, then I hand it back to whoever else has got one. This is Luke 21 and 28. It says, "And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh."
That's it, man. And we're looking up, okay? Because we see, what does it say in Jeremiah 10 and 2? Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Them, man. That's the spirit, man.
Come on.
Okay, so we ain't got no reason to be looking down, man. We should be rejoicing right about now. Don't you know and understand that all these different calamities and bad situations and destructive situations are happening because of you? And I'm talking to those of you that are of the elect of the nation of Israel, man. All right, these things are happening for your sakes, man. All right, so you have to look up, man, and understand that we're almost out of this bitch, man. Lord willing, we be found worthy to be of the elect, man. All right,
Lord willing.
Lord willing, man. Because let me say this, man. Everyone's got something to say, man. See, the thing about the internet is that it enables everyone to have an opinion, man.
Yeah.
But you know, in the book of Isaiah 2 and 17, it says how the loftiness. You know what? Let me bring that out real quick, because the Lord is getting ready to shut everyone the fuck up, man. And everyone's gonna know that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is Lord, and He's dealing with the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect, man. That's going to be established, and there's not going to be any confusion, any misunderstanding. That's going to be crystal clear, man. And if you don't understand that, it's off with your head. All right, that's the spirit that's going to be like in the kingdom, man. It says how we're going to rule over the nations with a rod of iron, but we're going to be ruling you with that soft-spoken, deceiving spirit like Esau, Edom. Nah, man, it's straight direct, man. All right.
Oh,
What does it say? Luke 19 and 27. Those my enemies that will not serve me, bring them hither and slay them before me, man.
that's right.
All
Yahweh
right.
shall coming back in that spirit.
That's it. And that's the spirit we got to be in, man. How else are we going to be able to deal with all the hardship that we're about to go through, trying to get into the kingdom of heaven, man?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
this is the thing. Esau's deceived because he was able to kill the Lord 2,000 years ago, right? He's again, Esau's answer to everything is a sword. They tried to kill the Messiah 2,000 years ago, but he rose from the grave, right? Now he's not coming back as a man, and he's not coming back to be meek and humble. He's coming back. He came first time as a lamb. Now he's coming back as a conquering lion. And how can you kill an immortal? You can't kill like it's a fight. It's a battle you've already lost, man. Your Howard is not going to meet you as a man, you know. So, Halawaya, did you have a precept you was holding?
Yeah, I got one on the same topic as well. This is Daniel 7 and 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. They're going into that immortality. Yahweh Shah coming in, and Esau's trying to battle them because Esau does have his, his hidden laser weapons, which he's going to reveal at the end of the day. You know, with Trump, I think he established this little space army that he's establishing. But even that, all that's in vain because when Yahweh Shah comes back with the angels, it's a lost battle at the end of the day, you know. But he doesn't realize that. But as I repeat again, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, and that begins with Yahweh Shah coming back with the chariots, man. Before we then get into those new bodies, Yahweh Tazar, and then we begin that rulership, in the mortal bodies, and of course for eternity.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's already foretold, man. It's already foretold. We just got to watch it play out.
Khan. Isaiah 46 says what? Declaring the end from the beginning, man. All right. So we've already, Lord willing, we're of the elect. We've already got the victory, man. We've already got the victory, but we're not able to foresee, our outcome. So therefore, we have to put our best foot forward, man. The scriptures say, we've got to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. That's what we're doing, man. So, anyways,
that's why we're doing lessons like this, giving diligence to make our calling and election sure.
That's right, man. That's right. So, anyways, it says the drones were spotted by responding officers, but mysteriously disappeared. Sources said it's unknown where they were launched from or ended up landing. You see, look, man, that the chariot invasion. Look, the Lord's gonna crack them skies, man. All right, you ain't gonna know where it came from. You just 1 minute, they're not there. The next minute they're there, man, in abundance, just wiping everything and everyone out, man.
Cool.
All right. This other article says a mysterious orb caught on video zooming over New York City is just latest Big Apple UFO. Here are some famous cases. Fair use again.
Yeah.
Play this video. Trust me, we don't make no money from these videos, boy. None of these videos.
Claiming there was an incomplete environmental review prior to launching the plan. Claiming there was an incomplete environmental review prior to launching the plan.
Look at that,
Ain't-
man.
Yep.
Wow.
That ain't no drone.
That's beautiful. Look at that. Hold on. Let me pause that. Wait. It is unclear whether the orb is a real-world object or a light refraction on a lens or a piece of glass. Come on, man.
Esau stretching. He's reaching, clutching the
Yeah,
straws,
that's the word. I think he's reaching. Esau's reaching, man.
trying to cope.
This guy's desperate, man. This guy's like just on the 12th round of a fight, just getting his face just punched out, man. And he's just trying, and he just threw. Okay.
What drone was gonna fly like that?
It's like an object flying very fast over the water, very close to the water.
I had a different source entirely describe this pretty extraordinary footage that exists of orbs, of an orb coming out of the ocean and being met by another orb.
Look at that, man. So
Is that Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, that's Snoop Dogg.
This guy.
Right after that, you get some folly, man. But that's the scriptures. It says how what folly is set in great dignity.
Yeah.
Look,
the rich
you got
and
two
low
coons
place.
there. Look, you got the coon with the bald head. And you got Snoop with hair down his back.
Crazy, man.
Completely coons.
That's Babylon for you. Confusion.
Yeah.
A bunch of confusion, man.
Imagine that. So, like, not to go off topic, but that's what Esau's trying to offer us. You know, like to make it in this world. What, to be Snoop standing there with a bald head weather forecaster? Like that's a life to admire or a life to desire. Come on, man. We're looking for crowns and scepters.
You know,
man. We're looking for
getting bent.
kingdoms.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
See, we may be the lowest at the moment, but we've got high ambitions, man. We've got high ambitions.
Well, I mean, that's the scripture, man. The scriptures say what? To be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Cool.
And that shall be increased at thy last end, man. So we're waiting for that increase, man. It's not a matter of you know, what, but more so a matter of when. All right, because we know what's gonna happen, man. You know, we read the scriptures. We know that we're gonna be changed. All right, it's just more so a matter of when. Which, you know, Lord willing, that's there, man. Because hey, we can't be. Look, man, like look at these two coons, man.
Exactly. Living the American dream.
The American dream. And you know what, man? There's a comedian that said that in order for you to believe the American dream, you have to be asleep, man.
Can't.
These dudes are asleep. All right. So moving on, it says there's more than one type of skyscraper above Manhattan. The mysterious orb caught on video zooming over Hudson River is just the latest UFO incident in the Big Apple. And this happened in November 24th. I mean, this article was November 24th. And then the other article that we read was 12th of December. So these things just consistently happening, man. These sightings are consistently occurring. Okay. It says controversial alleged Storytown alien abduction case has been subject of a recent documentary on Netflix, while there have been dozens of reports in the last year including a dramatic close call recently detailed by the Pentagon. All right. So that's that mysterious orb. Let me just
Then the
skim.
rest of it are just that other examples, you know.
Yeah, can't. So we pretty much got the point on that, man. But
Can't.
these chariot signs are ramping up, man. All
Yeah.
right. And so Edom is losing control of the narrative. Okay. Has anyone got any scripture they want to bring up? I got one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caleb, what's your one?
Just pulling it up. Revelation.
Got 1 and 7.
Yep, that's right on the money. Behold, he cometh with clouds and in chariots, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. Yahushua is coming back, man.
That's right.
Yahushua is coming back, and he ain't coming, as I said, he's not coming as a lamb this time. He's coming as a lion.
Yep.
Well, that's Isaiah 47. It says, I will not meet thee as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not going to be able to put him on the cross again.
Mm-hmm. And then 1 John 3 and 2 says, although it does not appear what we shall be, we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him. So I was trying coming to meet thee as a man. And they said we're going to be like him. So, pertaining to, what Ratazar brought out earlier as well, Daniel 7 and 18, where it says the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, man. We ain't taking the kingdom signing contracts and shaking hands. Right? We're taking the kingdom with heads rolling on the floor, blood everywhere. All right, like bodies turned into dust, buildings crushed everywhere. All right, heathens in chains and shackles, heathens gathering up the other bodies and burying the dead. Look, man, that's how we're getting ready to take the kingdom, man.
Yeah. Hang on.
Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai.
I got a precept here as well.
Bring out.
It says Isaiah 63 and 3, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me.
Read up. Read up a bit. Who is this that coming from God? Yeah, who is this coming from Edom? With thy garments Bosra.
Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bosra? That is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread it.
Hold on. He's going to be red in his apparel because of the amount of blood he's going to shed. That's treading a wine press is a metaphor for stomping the people like grapes, man. Yahushua is gonna be killing a lot of people in that day. So that's why his garments are gonna be red. Go ahead, read on.
For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in
now hold on, just to say as well, man. But it said, and I will stain all my raiment. Yahushua ain't gonna be rocking up with blood all over his garment whilst he's getting down, man. This is metaphorically speaking, man. The scriptures are written in metaphors and allegories, so that's why it takes back to Amos 3 and 7. He revealed his secret unto the Most High, the prophets. The prophets have to extrapolate the true understanding behind what's being said. In other words, the seer, the prophet, has to shed light on the dark sayings in order for it to be understood. All right?
Can't.
Verse 4, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeems is come.
That's right. And in Psalm 7 and 11, it says how the Most High is angry with the wicked every day.
Yeah.
Okay. And Yahweh Shai, he's in the same stead as his father, man. So he's angry with the wicked every day. He's been waiting for this day. So when, the Most High Yahweh gives him the green light to do what he's getting ready to do to, these devils, man.
Yeah, I've got a
Okay.
precept on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bring it out.
This is Amos 1 and 11. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Bozrah. So yeah, ultimately, Yahweh Shemeshah will release his wrath upon Esau Edom, man. His kingdom, Babylon, of course, New Rome again. That's going to be demolished once and for all. And of course, NATO and the EU system, that's all going to be demolished, man. And the influence of Babylon will also be done away with as well. Because Babylon does have a psychological and also physical stronghold over, these other nations. Hence why all that, will be completely destroyed under Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yeah, as you read earlier, the Most High appointed his bounds that you cannot pass.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's time for Esau to go down, he's going down. He'll have served his purpose. There'll be no more need for him to be able to deceive the nations, because he'll have fulfilled his purpose. So that all that's left for him is to do, all that will be left for him at that point is to pay his punishment, which is going to be his 1,000 years of slavery, then to be Obadiah 1 and 18, which is to be destroyed off the face of the earth. I've got a precept here. This is Psalms 149, starting at verse 4. For the Lord Yahweh will take pleasure in his people and will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints, praise ye Yahweh. So that's another confirmation that we're going to have dominion over these nations.
Yeah.
And when we get into power, we ain't never falling out of power again.
That's it.
Sanity.
Khan. See,
Is there any more? Is there any more in the article, or is it finished?
yeah, that was pretty much it on the article. I say, we get our last closing precept.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Khan. I mean, I've got this one here.
Yeah.
That we can pretty much close out on, unless anyone has got any precept they'd like to bring out.
No, I finished mine. Go ahead, bring out yours. Do you have any more, Halawiyah?
Actually, no. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Go on, Amdawala.
Calm.
This is 2 Maccabees 5 and 1. It says about the same time, because Romans 15 and 4, right? The things that are written aforetime written for our learning, okay? 2 Maccabees 5 and 1. About the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt. And then it happened that through all the city, all right, and this is happening again now, man. Through all the city, all these different countries reporting on these chariot sightings, man. Okay? For the space of almost 40 days, they were seeing horsemen. Now remember, horse represents power. It's just like when you're looking at a car, right? A car got the engine. How do you measure the power of the engine? One of the measurements they use is horsepower. How much horsepower the car got? All right. So the horseman is talking about how majestic and how powerful these angels and these chariots are, man. Okay. It says they were seeing horsemen running in the air. All right. Because you saw that in that video how fast that chariot was moving. If you see some of the recent videos of the chariot, you can see them just zipping about all over the place, man. Running in the air in cloth of gold. All right. Could be various different colors. And armed with lances like a band of soldiers, and troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another, with shaking of shields and multitudes of pikes and drawing of swords. So they're zipping about all over the place. The drawing of swords, you've got the laser beams darting out the chariots, the casting of darts. You got, the chariots they're flexing, man. They're showing what you can do, just like how they're starting to flex right now. But right now, they're just flexing on a low level. They're just showing the world that, yeah, we're here. Okay, there's much more we can do, but hey, we're just introducing ourselves. Okay, but they ain't come with a full-fledged. Okay, and glittering of golden ornaments and harness of all sorts. Wherefore every man prayed that the apparition might turn to good. And man are in that same spirit today, man. People are pulling out their phones, videoing these chariots, videoing these so-called UFOs, and they're hoping and praying. All right, the atheist is praying to God that these UFOs that he's seeing, are to his good, man. The atheist is praying to God. The atheist is buying a Bible because they're looking for answers, man. And they are finding answers from Esau, Edom. Go ahead, Caleb.
That's a good point you make. They're buying Bibles. I saw a video yesterday, actually, saying that Bible sales are higher than they've ever been.
That's right.
But the thing is, it doesn't matter because Esau can buy as many Bibles as he wants. He needs a prophet to break down the understanding to him. So a lot of people, they're just buying these Bibles and they're becoming dust magnets. But it shows that people are looking for answers. On some level, they know that something spiritual is going on and they're looking for answers.
That's right.
Anyway, did you finish your point? I didn't mean to cut you.
No, that's it. I mean, my point.
All right, so
anything else you want to bring up?
I think we can close out here. I'll just bring out one more because this is the point. Luke 21 and 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. I brought it out earlier, but I think it's good to keep that in mind because our redemption really does draw nigh, man.
That's right. Come on. Anything
Right,
else
then,
you want to say?
No.
Just a quick one.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, what was you gonna say?
Just Ezekiel 1 and 20, where it says, whether the spirit was to go, that's where the chariot was to go as well. So the way the angels manipulate is way different to how Esau, controls his planes and cars, man. So just referring to
facts,
the precept you got.
And that's we're gonna have that same power in the kingdom, man. Over here in this world, you have you gotta learn how to drive. Hey man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Shimi Ashai. One of our beloved brothers, Seed, passed their driving test recently, man. So good on her, man. But like in this world, you gotta learn. Oh yeah, you got to put it in gear, first gear, clutch, second gear, turn the steering wheel. All right. Ezekiel 1 and 20 says, whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels, man. So I mean the chariot and the angel, they were in succinction, man. They were each other. So it's not like the angel has a steering wheel in the chariot and he's all turning it. We see them drivers taking that turn and just nah, man. All right, like the angel, all the angel's got to do is he just got to think it. And you know what? To prove and Salakia, man. There's one more point, just to show you that Esau accomplishes a diligent search, and Esau, he really searches out the scriptures. Esau has actually got a military fighter jet, right? Where the way you aim the device that's used to shoot this weaponry is controlled by basically the pilot wears these certain glasses, and wherever the pilot looks is where the weapon aims at. So it's that's kind of like this. Like the spirit is linked. There's perception, man. All right. So he just looks there and he just shoots. He doesn't need to move certain things. He just looks at the target and he shoots the target. Right? But if he's
learning, man.
Yeah, he's trying.
Man. He's trying, man.
No avail. It's gonna
That's
be
right.
no avail.
Come on. So we got next, man. We got the victory, man. So hey, as Caleb was saying, man, you know, we got to look up, man, because our
Yeah.
redemption is night. All right.
Yeah, man. There's been a lot of good news coming out, you know, to lift up our spirits, man.
That's
So
right.
Lord willing, that was edifying for those who have been watching.
Yep.
We finished our precepts, yeah?
Can't.
Can't. So yeah, we'll close out here. So with that, Lord willing, it's been an edifying lesson. Once again, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Hashem, Rakah, Double honors as always unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. Shalom once again to the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. And Lord willing, we'll catch you on another show when we are able to do it through the Spirit. So shalom for now.
Shalom.
Shalom.